War, with its ruthless grip, leaves behind a trail of devastation, shattered lives, broken communities, and an indelible mark on the landscape. It's a grim spectacle that paints a picture of the harsh reality of conflict. Countless lives are abruptly snuffed out, their stories left unfinished. Homes once filled with warmth and laughter are reduced to rubble, leaving families adrift in a sea of uncertainty. The infrastructure that once held societies together crumbles under the weight of relentless attacks, severing lifelines and stifling progress. The landscape, too, bears the scars of war. Verdant fields are transformed into barren wastelands, forests are stripped bare, and cities are left unrecognizable in the wake of destruction. This damage extends beyond the physical. It seeps into the very soul of the affected regions, forever altering their identity. The devastation wrought by war is far-reaching, its effects echoing long after the last shot is fired. It's a stark reality we can't ignore. Swipe up for a reality check. Wars aren't just numbers on a screen. Each digit represents a life, a story cut short. Every statistic we hear, every number we read about, symbolizes a person. A person with dreams, ambitions, loved ones. Someone who had a favorite song, a cherished memory, a laughter that would light up a room. But war snuffs out these lights, leaving behind darkness. It shatters families, tearing them apart, leaving children orphaned, parents grieving, siblings lost. It's not just the physical wounds that bleed. Invisible scars etch themselves onto the hearts of those who remain, a constant reminder of the horror they've lived through. The nightmares, the anxiety, the post-traumatic stress. The mental health toll is colossal, often overlooked in the grand scheme of things. The human cost of war is steep, a price too high for any society to bear. The toll on mental health is immeasurable. #war effects, #human cost. It's not just about lives, wars cripple economies. Imagine this, a country rich with resources and potential plunged into a debilitating cycle of destruction and reconstruction. In the aftermath of conflict, communities have to grapple with sky-high rebuilding costs, a task made even more daunting by the drain on resources during the war. The ripple effect of these economic setbacks can be felt for generations. Jobs are lost, inflation skyrockets, and national debt balloons. The economic health of a nation is a cornerstone of its people's well-being. When war ravages this foundation, it leaves a legacy of financial instability that can take decades to rectify. We have to ask ourselves, is it worth sacrificing our financial stability? Let's talk about the Earth. Wars wreak havoc on our environment, pollution, deforestation, and irreparable damage to ecosystems. Picture this. The smoke and debris from bombings polluting our air and water. Forests, the lungs of our planet, razed to the ground to make way for military activities. Ecosystems rich with diverse species annihilated in the blink of an eye. Warfare also involves the use of chemicals and nuclear weapons, which contaminate the soil and water, posing a long-term threat to life. Not to mention the waste generated by military operations, often dumped without a second thought. The environmental consequences don't end when the war does. They linger, affecting the health and livelihoods of communities and pushing endangered species closer to extinction. Our planet, our shared home, pays a hefty price. But do we really consider this cost when we engage in conflict? Check this out. Wars disrupt societies. Education halts, healthcare systems crumble, and social fabric tears apart. When the thunder of conflict echoes, classrooms are silenced, textbooks remain closed, and the future of a generation is put on hold. The healthcare systems, the lifeline of a society, are strained or entirely obliterated, leading to a rise in disease, disability, and despair. The very social structures that bind us together, the threads of community, culture, and common purpose, are torn asunder. The emotional trauma, the loss of trust, the shattered sense of safety, these are wounds that time struggles to heal. The long-term consequences affect generations. Is it worth sacrificing our shared progress? As we witness the far-reaching effects of war, we're left with a haunting question: is it worth it? This isn't a query for the faint-hearted, but it's one we must all face. Think about the human toll, the economic fallout, the environmental consequences, and the societal disruption. It's not just about the lives lost, but the extensive, enduring impact on our world. So I ask you again, is it worth it? Take a moment to reflect on the true cost, not just in terms of lives lost, but the enduring impact on our world.